Alright, and we're live. Let's see. Both are on. I gotta flip the phones too. Alright. So I wanted to do a little update on what I'm seeing over here in Los Angeles City Hall with regards to all the riots and all the stuff that's going on. And some interesting things. So first of all, I talked to a bunch of the sheriff's deputies, and it is confirmed that from the National Guardsmen to the deputies, the fact is that not everybody is living in anywhere remotely to downtown LA. Some of the deputies that are here are from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, but there are many deputies that don't live anywhere near both of the counties. And the problem is that what is happening is many of those deputies are being forced to sleep literally on the floor wherever they have access to a public foyer, either at the station or any other area that they have direct control over. Even worse, while city council was going on, there was a whole feast going on in the back room where they had food being ported in. The council members were all given access to the food. Several of them were even being seen as eating live on camera. One of those was Bob Blumenfield, who had a huge plate of fries in front of him and was just going to town. He went for seconds, actually. Saw him go back and forth a couple times with food. None of the deputies were given access to any of that food, but guess who was? LAPD was, in fact, given access to some of that food. Neither the deputies were, though. Nobody from any of the sheriff's deputies were given any access to that food. I talked to a whole bunch of them. In fact, I saw a whole group of them towards the back, the normal second exit that's accessible on the third floor in the foyer. They have it closed off. There was about maybe 12 of them or so. I talked to them and I asked them if they were getting access to any of the food that is behind the council chambers, and they all answered that they didn't even know that there was free food being given. They didn't even know that there was any food at all, and they all had to buy their own food. They had to go out to the local shops, get their own food. The lunch cafeteria on the second floor actually had issues fulfilling some of the orders they had. That's the Homeboy Industries mini cafeteria on the second floor. And so they have these guys, right? Most of them are all standing around doing jack. They're obviously getting paid, but you have these weird antics where the council members are getting free food paid for by the taxpayer, and the same people that are also getting paid by the taxpayer, aka the deputies, are not being given access to any of the food that was paid for. And if that wasn't bad enough, what's also happening is a couple of other things I noticed. So they had a normal city council meeting, but what they didn't do is take public comment during the special hearing. So there's two city council meetings today. There was the normal city council meeting, and then there was the special meeting. And so for the normal meeting, they took public comment, but for the special meeting, they did not. And they're supposed to take public comment for the special meeting as well. So what happened is, hold on, the camera for some reason is they had different agenda items for the special meeting at the city council. They were supposed to take comment just for the agenda items, just for the special meeting agenda items. They did not take agenda item public comment for the special hearing, and you're not supposed to do that. That's an immediate and just a blatant violation of the Brown Act. We tried talking to several of the normal LAPD folks that get it and are on our side. They were shocked as heck too, and they went straight after the special meeting into closed session. And so without any sort of care in the world, they just immediately went straight to closed session, and they didn't take public comment. I met Mejia today. I handed him a copy of some of the crap that's been going on with the repeated violations of the Brown Act, the whole nonsense of Heidi Feltin Soto colluding with Scientology to prosecute people, and all the other antics that the city is doing. That was a good conversation I had with Mejia. So Mejia was there. He had one of his staffers also there with him. Had a good conversation with Mejia. And the the other big thing I saw is, interestingly enough, there was what seemed to be a lead activist that came by. I met them in the cafeteria downstairs, and there was a group of 5 of them, and they specifically told me that they were there to have a private meeting with several council members to talk about the homelessness programs and specifically their support of them. So naturally, right, I started asking them questions on, hey, did you hear about the Alliance case against the city, about the homelessness fraud? And they said, no, what's that all about? Now, they could have been pretending to not know, or they really could have been that stupid, but it was something like straight out of the Twilight Zone. There's no way that these people could come in to talk about their support of the homelessness programs and not know about the Alliance case. And so I broke it down for them, and so they explained that it's the first time they were hearing about it, and one of the people that they're supposed to meet with is Bob Blumenfield, who was one of the most mentioned names in the Matthew Szabo testimony at the federal case of Alliance versus the city of Los Angeles. And could they have been paid activists? I don't know. It's a very big possibility, at least that's what I'm inferring, for basically propping up people, right? Propping up fake support of alleged members of the general public that are not registered lobbyists, that are getting money to say good things about the programs being put forward by the city. And it's just no coincidence in my eyes. The week before was the Judge Carter case end of testimony, the end of the trial. And the final upcoming hearings are just a argument of a final brief, but no more testimony. The fact that I ran into them, and the fact that they all had the same story of we're here to talk about our support for all of that the city of Los Angeles is doing, all right after that whole nonsense went on with the trial over at the federal case against the city. And now, during the midst of this chaos with people rioting in the streets, there's no freaking way. There's no freaking way that those are so coincidental, that they line up so perfectly. So, I don't know. I just, it didn't sit right with me. Most of the deputies also that are here today are from the Riverside County Sheriff. So, I don't know why you would need to pull so many people from RCSD to come here just at City Hall, particularly to guard City Hall. I don't know why you can't use your sheriff's deputies for here, but you have to instead pull from over there. So they also canceled without any notice the tourism committee, and I think they just had public comment for. So they just had planning and land use committee public comment.
No.
Or they didn't have public comment.
This is the public comment for the closed session item for the city council meeting.
Oh, so they didn't even have.
They did the federal. They right now they are in closed session city council again, and then Plum most likely will be canceled. Not
Okay.
for sure.
So there you have it. So just now they took public comment just for the closed session items of city council, which still means they have not taken public comment for the special items that were during open session. And so still we have a Brown Act violation, and they're going to cancel Plum, even though they could just very well postpone it towards this evening to have it. It's not unlike them to have a late evening committee meeting. They did that for various other committees, so I don't understand why they can't do it for city council.
You know, remember we were here for that meeting last Friday.
Yeah.
When I got here, Duarte just called me.
It was the civil rights.
That
It was a
that
civil
one,
rights
that
committee that they outright canceled without any
Before I
notice.
leave my home, I check on the, I check.
I
the
checked
agenda.
too.
It's right there,
And
no problem.
absolutely.
So I leave my home. And
Absolutely.
Then they said, hey, just 20 minutes ago, Sergeant Duarte called. They canceled.
Yeah, absolutely. They literally canceled less than 20 minutes last Friday the Civil Rights and Equity Committee that's part of the regularly scheduled city council committee meetings. And that's one of the committees that doesn't even meet all that frequently. I want to say they meet maybe once every other week. and so they canceled the one time that they were supposed to have it, and who knows if we'll even see it this month or not. Like, that's the one committee that's been routinely canceled, and it has been canceled for almost a year at this point. And again, is it a coincidence that that particular committee, Civil Rights and Equity Committee, has been routinely canceled while the trial testimony has been going on of the Alliance versus the city on the homelessness fraud? So I don't know, but that's pretty much all I had for you guys. I'm gonna twist the camera around just to see if anybody has any questions, but if not, I'll see you guys in the next one. But let's see what else we got here.
Thank God you're done. Thank God.
All right, see ya.
Thank God. Thank you, Jesus Christ. He's finished.